welcome to the Brain Project Behind the Scenes 12.4, the dry run. We're gonna make this pretty simple. The due date is approaching for me to present my speech. I have it basically entirely done. I'm just nervous. So I think by going over the speech, I should be doing it. And also, this is how it works in a... Jesus. Sorry. Give me a second. I'm stalling. Throwing this away. Gross. Hi. I'm back. I have it all written down on these pages, which you can't really see, but I've written a lot. So not this side. That'd be cool if it was me. So there's the first page. I'm trying to do this stuff. Oh, also, yeah, I probably should explain the effect. I'm messing around with some of the effects and putting it for different videos. I like the idea of it having kind of an older historical feel to a 12.4, which was, yeah, it's still going. Keep in mind, these are all stuff I'm writing for the speech. Still going. So, yeah, I'm gonna try to keep the same. I'm sure it'll come like a, what do you call it? Like a habit. I'll have instantaneously. Yeah, look at all that I'm writing. All that right there. Still going. Still going. Still going. This isn't the same page. I'm running back and forth. I'm skipping 2 different pages. And then, you know, I printed out this thing, like a whole separate little page. I did a lot. For the speech. I think I'm very well prepared. I've written and overwritten so much, and you'll see different effects. But here I am stalling again. I have a timer on my phone. It's going to be an up interval, which means that it's going to... You know what I should have, actually? I am stalling, but for a reason. There's a thing you can do with the timers to where you can a stopwatch. I think it's a stopwatch. I don't know. I'm testing. God. Okay. Never mind. Delete. I'm trying so hard not to stall, but here I am stalling so much by doing this. I'm just gonna do it, alright? Here we go. Stopwatch. Right here. Okay. That did not work at all. This is killing me. Oh my gosh. Okay, what I'm gonna do is make 5 counter uppers. The count up timer, and then I'm gonna make another count up timer, and then I'm gonna make another count up timer. I'm gonna explain why I'm doing this. So in one of the very, very many pages that I've written all this stuff, I've written a timesheet. I want to make it relatively 30 minutes for the whole experience. And on this side over here, intro, I'll read it right there, but there it is. 30 minutes, keep it tight. Intro is going to be 2 minutes. All right, interpretation, 5 minutes. I feel like a stopwatch on your phone is way easier than this app. Am I crazy? Yeah, you can take laps. Yeah, okay. 2 minutes, interpretation / concept. 5 minutes, Dolly Dilemma. 6 minutes, text and subtext. 3 minutes, serial puzzle. 2 minutes, anti-morals. 6 minutes. The reveal, 1 minute. The personal journey, 3 minutes, and the ending, 2 minutes. So overall, 30 minutes. For the sake of, I'm going to be using beautiful little thing. For the sake of a dry run in full dexterity, there will be little to no props, as in I literally have nothing for props. It's just going to be me fully presenting. This is a performance. I'm going to be doing a dry run of the official Speech 12. I'm also going to hold the book in front of me. I don't have it all fully memorized, so you'll see it like that. All right, and with that, because that was a lot. What are we at already? 5 minutes? That's good. You know what? Try to make it 35 minutes. And if I go over, I go over. So I'm gonna tap the lap thing each time I go past a certain thing. All right. Okay, here we go. I'm standing in front of a crowd. It's a small crowd of people. I'm dressed up very eloquently. Hopefully, don't have my book by me. I might have it like on the table in front of me for reference, and making sure everybody's settled, right? You can tell I did speech and debate, huh? All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1, go. Thank you, everyone, for coming here today. I have to say, today's speech is going to be on morality. Now, morality is very interesting, right? Let's start with how it's defined, right? Morality, on the most basic of Google searches, Webster's Dictionary, whatever you want to use, right, is the principles between good and bad behavior, right? So, oh, this is going to be hard. This is going to be hard. This is going to be, I'm glad I'm doing this. I already messed up. Okay, I'm glad I'm doing this, alright? Just get the nerves out the way, and we gotta do this. How do I want to start? I wrote this down how I really, really wanted to start, because I feel like I already started off wrong. Yes. Okay, I have a prop. I remember why this is looking weird. I have a prop right here. This prop is going to be a stand. It's going to be the subjective, objective, subjective. All right, that's going to be this. I'm not going to draw the whole thing, because drawing the whole thing would be really annoying. But that's what this is right here. While I'm mentioning the prop, I'm going to point to this. All right. Okay. Okay, here we go. Starting over again. It's loud jazz. I'm nervous. You can tell I'm fidgety. All right. Starting in 3, 2, 1. All right, everyone. Thank you for being here. Hi, hello. Today, we are going to be doing our speech on morality. Now, I just gotta go with it. Okay, I'm using filler words. Just okay. This is truly it's been a hot minute since actually doing a speech, and what's weird is I have incredible stage fright. I didn't know that essentially till I actually did speeches in front of people. I went, wow, I am terrified right before. But I think everybody does. Late night hosts are terrified. That adrenaline, that feeling, right? It rises up. But we're just gonna do it. All right. And 3, 2, 1. Hello, everyone. Thank you for being here. Today, we are going to be doing our speech on morality. More specifically, this right here. All right, this looks complicated. It'll get explained in a bit. All right, but morality. What is it? Right? What is morality? Good or bad? Exactly. Right? Well, you basically said it. The Google definition, as it has it right there, principles between good and bad behavior. You basically have it, right? We all exist in the center of this idea of morality. Now, we're going to use these terms a lot, so I'm going to make it very clear. Subjective, right here, essentially your opinion, right? Objective is everyone's opinion, right? The truth of the matter. Think of an opinion versus a fact. Subjective, objective, all right? We all exist in this subjective state. Now, in the subjective state, this is the difference of whether cats should be homeless, right? This is the difference of how you feel towards certain political opinions or really small personal opinions, right? How your hair should look, right? That's not it. I do this thing. It's a very clear tick that I do when I am struggling or I get nervous. I just keep I mean, everybody talks a lot when, not everybody, but I talk obviously when I'm nervous, but what I do is take one piece of what I'm talking about and then just keep giving examples of it. I keep bludgeoning on, making sure people know this term. If anything, it's semi-insulting. People understand. All right. It's gonna be long. This 12.4. Here we go. Starting in 3, 2, 1. Hello, everyone. Welcome. Thank you for being here. Today, we are going to be talking about morality. More specifically, this picture right here. Alright, it's a little complicated. It'll make sense in a second. Okay? Now, morality. What is morality? Right? Good and bad. It's kind of in sometimes a gray zone, but essentially good and bad. Right? The easiest Google definition of morality: principles between good and bad behavior. Right? We exist individually in morality, all right here, right in the center. Right? This is our subjective opinion. Right? That's how you feel about art. That's how you feel about strong political terms. This all fits into the subjective. Right? And within that, we have the objective. That's what's considered fact. Right? That's the grouped moral code. This is laws that governments put. This is trends towards eco-environmental stuff. This all fits into this objective, grouped moral code. Now, what's interesting about this objective opinion is that you can still have your own subjective opinion within it. Just because there is a law saying that you do a certain thing, you may morally feel that that law is wrong, or doing your thing is okay or justified, right? Within this objective moral code, right? Think about nature versus nurture. Nature is the genealogical, that's the biology of the human beings, the genes that came from your parents, right? While nurture is the environments of everything around you that affects you, right? That makes that grouped moral code. That's the government when they make laws saying you have to go to school, have to do these things. That's companies when they say in order to buy this you have to do this, or you have to you support this in some way. That's influencers. That's beauty products. That's your family. That's children. That's friends. That's everything that affects all around in that grouped moral code that makes your subjective. What we're going to be talking about here today is that we create our own subjective morals, mostly based on nature. But what most of us tend to do is stay in here instead of expanding past the grouped moral code into the outer subjective. By the end of this speech, I'm going to prove to you that there is no let's continue. We already started off with kind of a problem, right? Interesting. I grouped the intro and the other stuff together. Okay, so I feel like I did good, but I also feel like, okay, I was kind of, I cheated a little ahead. And so what I'm gonna do is have the definition, and then I'm gonna not state the interpretation yet, have the definition, go into nature versus nurture, and start with the subjective, with the nature versus nurture, and then the objective, the group moral code in the nurture. Then, well, God, this is gonna be hard. Okay, so I'll keep that nature versus nurture, right? Talk about this and the fact of nurture. Go back to this, talking about how it can change, and then start to question what the outside really is. But I gotta make sure my point comes really clear, because I think the way I wrote this, I didn't really explain why I was there. So I'm gonna try to incorporate the interpretation as well as the definition. All right, 1 second. Sorry, I have a roommate now. It's no problem if she really comes in, to be honest. It's just, I get a little paranoid about the roommate. It's fine, I'll keep recording if she comes in. She might not want to be on camera, but she just duck under, whatever. Okay, I think I got this. Here we go. And 3, 2, 1. Hello, welcome everyone. Today, I am going to be speaking about morality. More specifically, this picture right here, which looks complicated, but we'll get into it in a second. Now first, what is morality? Right? It's good and bad, and sometimes a gray zone, but mostly good and bad. Right? You look it up on Google right now, I'll say principles between good and bad behavior. Right? That's the morality. And what happens with us, I don't know. See, I was stalling again by talking about one specific point of view. It just keeps happening, the same thing. Okay. So I'm going to say definition, and I'm going to add my interpretation. That there is no good or bad. Okay, here we go. Hello. Welcome everyone. Today, I am going to be speaking about morality. More specifically, this picture right here, but we'll get to this in a second. All right? What is morality? It's good and bad. Sometimes a little gray zone, right? Sometimes a big gray zone, but mostly good and bad, right? It's defined on Google as principles between good and bad behavior. I'm going to prove to you today that there is no good or bad. There is no right or wrong. Let's start with this image. We have in the middle, right here, the subjective, right? This is our personal morals. This is essentially okay. I realize I butchered the way I wrote this because I want to do nature and nurture to go into the objective. So I'm going to do, okay, so I'm going to do definition, interpretation, subjective. The way I wrote this book, all right, It's this page and then this page. What I want to do is this section across here, and then the side up here for nurture. Okay, I gotta start doing these earlier in the month. And then I realized these dry runs were gonna be so dry. Oh my gosh. I don't think I got past 3 minutes, I think. That's what I got. I don't even know how this video is gonna really go. We're already like 19 minutes in. I was stalling so much. Whew. Make it 49 minutes. Here we go. And 3, 2, 1. Hello. Welcome. Today we are going to be learning about morality. More specifically, this picture right here, right? Which looks complicated. We'll get to that in a second. What is morality? It's good and bad, sometimes a little gray zone, right? But mostly good and bad. It's defined, you look up Google's most simplest definition, as principles between good and bad behavior. Now, my interpretation of morality, what I'm going to try to prove to you today, is that there is no good or bad. There is no right or wrong. Let's start off with this little circle in the middle, right? This is the subjective, the inner subjective, right there. Now, subjective is our own opinions, right? This art's good, this art's bad. When it comes to morals, it makes it different than essentially almost anyone else's, right? Some people are vegetarians. They don't believe eating meat is good, right? Some people are omnivores. And this keeps going into this big cascade of different subjective morals. Now, what happens, this outer layer right here, that it all fits into the grouped moral code. This is the objective morals, right? This is what governments do. Think of nature versus nurture, right? Nature, essentially, is the genealogical, your genes from your parents, right? Why the eye color is, why your hair is this way. Nurture is everything that affects around you. That's governments when they make laws. That's the grouped moral code, right? It's companies when they support certain policies or people. That's the grouped moral code, right? This keeps going. Influencers, beauty products, family, children, friends, this all fits in developing this grouped moral code that in each and every one of us, we have our own subjective opinion. Now here's the thing. Most of us stop right here on this objective layer. A lot of us don't question why things are good and bad. Right? Why things are right and wrong. What's the reasoning behind them? And that's what we're here to find out. But first, a game. Alright? As many of you can see, this right here. Does anybody know the name for this? Dolly. Exactly. Due to copyright reasons, we can't exactly use a certain other Ollie-esque related game, but today we're going to be playing the Dolly Dilemma. Alright, it's very simple, the Dolly Dilemma. You are a worker, alright, a local hardware store, right? Diligent, good worker, just doing your time. As you're standing there, minding your own business, you happen to see a dolly speeding down the aisle, flying super fast. It's headed towards 5 people. You're starting to see where I'm going with this, right? Headed towards 5 people. At the last second, you realize you can kick the dolly. It can go away from those 5 people. It's going to go hit 1 person. right? They're not going to get, it's not extreme, they're not going to die. Their ankles are going to get really hurt. Have you ever got hit by a dolly? They hurt, right? So, there's the options. What do you choose? Do you let the dolly hit 5 people, or do you kick the dolly to only hit 1 person? The 1 person, right? You would pick normally the 1 person to hit. That makes sense. Now, we're going to mix it up. All right, we're going to have groups, say 3, 4 groups right here. Say groups of 3. That'll work. We'll just mix you right there, right there. We're going to do jury answers only. That means you all have to decide on one collective answer together. And we're going to start very simply. Same question. This time, that 1 person who's standing there is your favorite grandparent. That's your grandma, your grandpa, standing right there. Right? Gonna get hit by the dolly. What do you all do? Go. Ten more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stop right there. What'd you choose? All right, what'd you choose? Interesting. What'd you choose? All right. Next question. Your similar question, different scenario. You hear some rowdy kids down the aisle, right? And the dolly is zooming towards those rowdy kids. You can tell they're trying to shoplift, right? They're just gonna knock stuff down. But you see, as you are able to kick the aisle away, kick the dolly away, it's headed towards your best friend, right there. What do? Do you let the dolly hit those kids? Or do you push it to hit your best friend? Ten more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Answers. All right, this one. All right, and here. All right, next question. I've heard a little rumor working at this hardware store. Apparently, you've heard some nasty trash from Jerry. Ugh, you hate Jerry. Don't you just hate Jerry? Ugh, one of the worst coworkers alive. So what you do is smart. You're a little creative. Alright? You put a little microphone pack underneath the dolly. Right? Roll it over towards Jerry's area. Just see what he happens to be talking about. Right? Turns out Jerry has said some really, really bad gossip about you. He's trying to make up stuff about you. What do? Do you tell the people that Jerry is trying to lie and spread gossip about you, and therefore telling them that you are miking dollies and possibly, miking other people to hear secret conversations, or do you do nothing? Decide. 12 more seconds. Alright. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What'd you choose? Alright. What'd you choose? And what'd you choose? Alright. Here's the problem now. You are going to be with your new favorite coworker. Oh, man, you see your buddy right here. This is your dog, right? This guy right here, he knows how to have some fun. Finally, a coworker worth having fun, right? You both are just messing around, whatever, in the hardware store. You forget, oh, I left a dolly behind you. Doesn't matter who left it there. No big deal. One of the customers walking by slips falls right on their back. It's a bad thing. Oh, they're both looking at you. It's not a bad situation, right? You have two different options right now. You have two different dollies in front of you. Do you take the really, really slow dolly, right? It'll be a smoother experience, but it's really, really slow. Or do you take the really fast dolly? That one's super bumpy. It's gonna hurt him even more in his way, right? Decide. Ten seconds. All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What'd you choose? What'd you choose? What'd you choose? Interesting. Here's the problem. You, luckily, got the man to safety. But he's pissed. He called your boss. He wants one of you fired. Right? Your boss doesn't know. It's either you or your coworker that's really done it. Right? Can't decide between the two. Here's what you have. If you fess up and say, I was the one who left the dolly, right? He might give you a lighter punishment, right? If the coworker tells on you, God, okay, here we go. If you tell your boss, it's the coworker, right? And the coworker says, it's you, then you both get fired. If you both do nothing, one of you, you'll both get fired, right? But if one of you snitches on the other, they get to work there. What do? Decide. 10 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What'd you decide? What'd you decide? And what'd you decide? Interesting. Well, the higher ups heard about this process, right? They are impressed. You got promoted. You're assistant manager. Look at you. First option, first action, not an easy one. All right, you have to cut people out. Times are hard nowadays, right? Jobs are getting slimmer and slimmer. You got couple different options. There's these two different teams, right? Started relatively new, seem like aspiring young college students, or you've got one elderly coworker. This is someone who has been there for 30 plus years. Who do you fire? Ten more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What'd you decide? What'd you decide? What'd you decide? Interesting. Interesting. The higher ups love you even more. You're about to possibly get one of the best promotions that has ever been seen before. You're gonna go straight up to the CEO position. That's right. You're gonna be in charge of the dollies. Well, the hardware store, but you mostly care about the dollies, right? So, you know, by leaving your current store, it's gonna go in shambles. Not gonna lie, you've done most of the work there. You clean up, you close lights, you remind the manager to do stuff, to pay for people, to pay for everything. If you leave, that store ultimately is gonna get closed down. People's jobs are gonna get lost. What do you do? Ten more seconds. 5, 4, 1. What'd you decide? What'd you decide? What'd you decide? All right. There's a threat. have any of you heard of, you know what? Sorry, we're cutting this. Holy, it's taking a long time. I'm like halfway through 30 minutes. Oh my gosh. Oh, okay. Let's just. We're doing a botched dry run. 12.4 botched dry run B. Because you just love dying on random. This camcorder really is so much more of a nuisance than I really ever thought it would be. It's supposed to be nice. So it corrupts it, splits into 15-minute cycles, and then just dies, even when on a charger. Alright, this is going to be titled the botched dry run. We're going to try in 12.5 to do a good dry run, but oh my gosh, am I tired just from even trying. Like, I got through the first game and it took 15 minutes. So, very luckily, I should say this, I made a long version of the Dolly Dilemma and a short version. We are definitely doing the short version. 100% doing the short version. The whole point of it is to go into eliciting questions, making them question their morals, talk about interpretation. Okay, buddy, you are such a little guy right now. What is up with you? He is all over the place. He really is a little dog. He just always wants to be around. So, ow. So, good botched dry run. I'm gonna be practicing this speech, I guess, a lot more in person, like off camera. Try to give another official dry run. I'm just nervous about doing this presentation now. What I want to do is perform at a level that I feel confident in. Now, I think the only way you do that is by not being confident and still doing it. I can't just be great at this off rip. I know that. But, God, it doesn't make it any easier. It does not make it easier to do this stuff. We're gonna stop this. I'm going to do the short version, and I wrote so much stuff on this notebook, I don't want to rewrite it onto a page or something, but maybe it would be easier if I just written it on a page. I might try transferring it to a Google Doc. That'll take a minute, but it would be better. God, I don't even know, cause I still need props. I still haven't bought the props, and I want to get it a certain way. I still have not invited the people. I mean, there's 2 people that I really thought that would actually come to this thing. I haven't even brought them. I gotta do it in front of people, but it's just not gonna be good. Well, it won't be bad if I just do it good, but it just takes practice. That's what this is. We're gonna do a lot of dry runs, as it seems. I'll tell you this. The real thing that's happening in my head is I just want to push back this speech. I really want to push back this speech. It's funny because, well, you already know in the future the consequence of whatever I chose, but yeah, as of this point right now, I just feel anxious about it. I feel unprepared. I feel nervous. A little scared. Just not confident. And Captain Crunch's little energy is not helping me. But he's a little nuisance, so he's not supposed to help. Alright, we'll wrap this up. I'm gonna try rewriting it. Maybe that'll be easier. That won't take too long. The props don't take long to get. The people I can invite at any time. I should be able to do it. It's in a week. I'm pretty sure. You can do it. Just gotta shake off the bad vibes of all this. You know? It's possible. You can do it. Alright? Here we go. Captain Crunch, get over here. You little nuisance of a guy. Arrgh. Alright, tell them it's okay. Alright? Things are gonna get better. Just give them a little time. Alright. Ow. I'm gonna get an electric shock on you. I'll give you a little treat. Till next time.